Hello and welcome to the 23rd video in the ArcGIS series. In this video we're going to learn about how to take ArcGIS information to Adobe Illustrator or AI. We tend to do this because the graphic control within Adobe Illustrator is much greater. If you're laying out posters or reports, it's good to have kind of things in a format that's easily translated in and out of Illustrator to other Adobe programs like InDesign, Photoshop, etc. So we'll learn about how to get a map set up and out for Illustrator, and then we will have a brief review and introduce the topics for the next video. So here I already have a map set up in in GIS. You're particularly going to pay attention to that we are going to want a study area boundary, the building, and the parcels, because you will use this map in your Adobe Illustrator series to create kind of a figure ground and a poster layout. So you're going to want it, and then as well as the base map, the world imagery. And so that way you have study area boundary, buildings, parcels, base map. You're going to want to do your layout. Again, if you have issues with any of this, adding data, creating the map layout, inserting some basic elements such as graphic scale and north arrow, please watch the past videos. It will help you tremendously to set this up. But what we want to now do is take this to Illustrator, and you'll look at the Adobe Illustrator videos to figure out how to edit the map in Illustrator, but this will show you how to get it there. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to go to File, Export Map, and in particular we're going to want to export to AI. That's Adobe Illustrator. The settings we want to use here is because we're going to not want to export multiple copies, is we'll do 300 dpi because that's for print. And once you're done in Illustrator, you can actually then create a PDF that's emailable. So that's all covered in the Adobe Illustrator tutorial videos. But we need the highest resolution here so that way it works later on, and we can always downsample later. So 300 dpi, output is best over here. Ratio is 1:1. We don't want to change that. We're also going to want to go to the Format tab right here. And what we want to do there is we want to make sure CMYK, the picture symbols. So these are symbols in the layer palette. If you have point data in particular, you're going to want to vectorize these, or if you have stippling patterns in GIS, if you have striped, hatched, any of those in GIS, they're considered bitmap marker fills. Illustrator wants them vectorized, or they just won't show up, so vectorize them. If you're just going to Photoshop, you could rasterize them, but Illustrator is a vector program, so we want them vectorized. We also want to convert marker symbols to polygons, and so that way, again, this is kind of for point data and points within polygons, but this is for those that are kind of polygonal, hatch, stipple, so we want to convert that to polygons as well, so we could edit them in Illustrator if needed. We also want to use the display expression name, so we check both of these. Now the display expression name is, again, once you get in Illustrator, you'll see all the things come in as layers. Well, we want them named the same as in our table of contents and grouped by these. So check that. It makes life a lot easier. We can name this, we can call it whatever. I'm going to call it figure ground because that's what we're going to do with it in Illustrator, and I'm just going to save that. Again, there's a lot of information being converted over here in our map, so just make sure we have that. It'll take a bit. Also, we insert the graphic scale and north arrow for reference in Illustrator, and you'll see that when you get there. And so my export is complete, and that's it. We can now have our review. As a brief review, we learned how to take GIS information, or particularly a map, to Adobe Illustrator or AI. And in the next video, we're going to learn how to take GIS data to AutoCAD. This concludes video number 23.